is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Hey, there he is, Marcel Louis Jacques, ready to go, ready to rock. And of course, you can follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch his work there at ESPN doing his thing. And of course, catching him here, you get the Edge energy drink. Look at you with a USA football kit. How about that? Man, is there a number or no number? Oh, can't hear you.
No number, just a little kit, you know what I'm saying? Just a little shirt. I thought that soccer jerseys were going to be the next wave. So I have like 3 USAs. I've got an Atletico, Man U, I think PSG. Used to have an Arsenal, and then it tore up in the dryer, unfortunately.
That's my team. That's my team I suffer with all the time, Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm trying to go. They're coming to Orlando, I think, in July. So I'm trying to get out there as soon as tickets are available. But
that's your team, because you named like 5 different jerseys. So
look, I'm more of a FIFA advocate than an actual soccer advocate. So I just bought I bought the shirts of teams that I run with on FIFA. But the woman I have been spending my time with is a big Arsenal supporter. So she wants to go to that. We're going to try and do that.
I've never met her, but she must be a good woman. She must be a good woman.
No argument here.
Hey,
no argument here.
I don't know. I'm a fan of hers now that I heard she's an Arsenal fan. I'm a fan of anybody that's an Arsenal fan and has suffered with me over the last. I mean, we've been suffering since like the beginning of the 2000s, bro. It's just.
Look, I used to love them on like the first. They were the first team when I learned how to play that video game. They were the first team that I could play with. So like Van Persie and Gervinho and Theo Walcott, I think Mikel Arteta as well, the goalie whose name's it's a bunch of letters I cannot personally pronounce. Samson, I think, was his first name. I don't know. But yeah, man, I used to like Arsenal. That was the first soccer kit I ever owned.
All right, there you go. All right, good stuff. Just be prepared to suffer if you do get on the bandwagon, because it's a painful one for us, man. Tremolio says you need to buy a Barcelona kit or Liverpool. Barcelona is my team, but they're not in the Premiership. But yes, Barcelona is my other team, but that's in the Spanish Primera League, so that's different. Not a Liverpool guy. No, I'm an Arsenal guy. That's different. That's the Premiership.
Can't do that.
All right, so. Let's get into a little Dolphins. First of all, the linebacker out of Georgia, Channing Tindall. What do you think?
Love it. For everybody who's been paying attention on the show, I have been pounding the table for a speedy linebacker to help them contain Josh Allen, who they've got to play 2 times a year. And I asked Chris Greer about it last night. He said, you always want to add speed on all sides of the ball. It's more like a college game now. And I get that, of course. But we're at a point right now where you can't discount drafting players to counter Josh Allen. I don't think it's a stretch. I don't think it's weird. I don't think it's panicking. I think this is a guy who you're going to have to – you've been right there. The games have been within reach before they got out of hand. You need as much talent as you can on that side of the ball. I love that pick. And he's more than just –
Marcel, the smart thing for any football team, whoever's the best in your division, if you're not the best in the division – you need to design your team to beat the best in the division. And the Bills are the best in the division, and you are 1,000% right. That's how you design it. You go you get a guy that knows how to actually shadow a player like that, because that's what he does. You get a guy that has some speed and is a bit of a thumper too. I think you're 1,000% right. The Dolphins are also not only trying to design a much better offense, but you can tell they're also trying to design a team that needs to take down the big boys in the division, which we all know is the damn Bills.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they have speed at linebacker. They've got Jerome Baker is he's not slow. Jalen Phillips, technically, yeah, but he's more of just he's an edge rusher than like a true linebacker, you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't think it's not really the same scenario in this case. Plus Tindall plays more inside, and I think they would prefer to keep Baker outside. I think that it would be best for the defense if they keep Baker outside. And Grim mentioned they had some guys who could run like Duke Riley and Baker, and he said that Landon Roberts will tell you he can run. I mean, shoot, we saw him on that pick six in Las Vegas. He can run.
Yeah.
But I think it's more straight line speed. When I saw a comment that where somebody was bringing up 40 times of linebackers. That is all 40 times going to show you is straight line speed.
I think early on in the season, in between the 10s, you'll see you'll see the kid eventually be the starting linebacker. Not early on, but as the season goes on, he'll be the starting linebacker. But inside the 10 and the red zone, that's when Landon, I think, will be the middle linebacker at that time, because that's when you need the thumper, and then you'll use him on the outside with Baker on the outside, because you'll use his speed and athleticism to try to contain either backs or a Josh Allen.
Look, linebacker is a position where rotation is key. Just like defensive end, you can never have too many, and you keep rotating them in. You keep sending them in. The Dolphins last year, they blitzed on 38% of opponents' dropbacks. It was the second highest in the league, behind Tampa Bay, who, I mean, they blitz on 38.1%. So you might as well say that they were the most aggressive defense in the NFL last season, because they send their guys relentlessly and ask that secondary, be ball hawks,
right?
Force these guys into bad decisions. The rush forces a quarterback in a bad decision. Secondary makes them pay. It's tale as old as time. So Tyndall spoke about that with us last night. That's what really excites him about being here in Miami, is the way that they use their linebackers and the way that they send them on blitzes and the way that they send them after quarterbacks and have them cover and stuff the run. It is a versatile position group here in Miami. And I think Tyndall's an excellent acquisition. This pick has basically been getting universal acclaim across the board. I don't think I've seen anybody who's been upset with it, considering how the board looked. I can't give you another name that would have been better. I think this was I don't want to say home run pick. This was an excellent pick for Chris Grier.
Oh, yeah. No, I love the pick. All right. What do you know about the Texas Tech kid?
Eric Azukanma. Yeah, actually lightly covered his recruitment when I was in Texas. So this is very full circle. He went to school down the street in Keller, down the street from where my best friend went to high school. Okay. So it was cool seeing his name pop up. Not a burner per se, but he's fast enough that he can get behind a defensive back. Long, rangy kind of kid, 6'2", about 205, give or take. He can high point the ball well, uses his frame well to box out defenders and making a catch. You hear the term contested catch artist a lot when it comes to him. Wouldn't say, he's necessarily the sharpest route runner in the draft, but he runs good enough routes. There's a way to clean up from there. I think that once he refines his route tree a little bit more, wasn't super extensive there at Texas Tech. Once he refines that tree a little bit more, I think that he's got an opportunity to maybe even leapfrog, and I said this on Twitter, maybe even leapfrog Preston Williams with a strong camp. It depends on what Preston Williams we see this summer. So I don't want to rule him out quite yet. New coaches, new slate.
I'll rule him out for you. I'll rule him out for you. He ruled himself out of college, which got his ass undrafted, and then he's ruled himself out here by constantly dropping balls and getting injured. Plus, he's not multiple, which this kid is multiple. This kid's also a runner. This kid averaged 13 yards a carry. So this tells me that he's going to be part of what I've been saying for a while now. We have Deebo Samuel on this team. It's just like 7 dudes that are going to play the position. And he just added to the mix. So Preston Williams, his days are pretty much numbered, dude. I got to say.
Yak ability. That's what he said that he has. That he has yak ability. And, you're going to hear that phrase a lot from Mike McDaniel, from Frank Smith, from this offensive staff. That's something that they value heavily in their receivers. And I've been saying for, how long now? I've been getting on this show and telling you that the Dolphins staff and front office thought they had as big of, if not bigger problem at playmaker and wide receiver than they do at offensive line. And I think that I don't think we're going to rule out the Dolphins taking an offensive lineman here in the 7th round. Chris Greer did mention
the
that.
Boston College Center is still there.
Yeah, Lindstrom is still there. I believe
So trade your
my boy
damn
Donovan
7th
West from
rounders,
Arizona
try to
State
get
is
into the
still
back
there.
of the 6th. Get them.
Like, I think it's going to be a little hard for them to package 2 pretty low value picks in the 7th round and get into the 6th. It depends. We're almost at the end of the 6th round now, so
that's what I'm saying.
Who knows?
The back end of the 6th, maybe you can get the 2 7s into the back end of the 6th.
But I think it'd be a good depth piece. I don't think that he's going to come in and challenge Michael Dieter for a starting job if they do go Lindstrom here. But he is going to add depth in the off chance that Dieter has to miss time, or if Dieter gets injured, or so on and so forth. I don't know how many guys on roster right now have center capability. So it's a thin position right now.
By the way, they could get into the 6th. You know why? The first pick in the 7th round is the 3rd pick in the draft. So it's the 3rd and the 26th. So the 3rd and the 26th could get you into the late 6th if you really want Lindstrom. I'm just saying.
It's possible. Let me see where we're at right now. I mean, you're
only moving down like
there's a bunch of picks left.
Right?
We're in the comp pick. We're in comp pick territory now. So I mean, like I said, if they like them, I think we'd all appreciate it. I think package them both, get this over with now. Let the kid hop on Zoom. Let's talk to Mike and Chris, and then call it a wrap. Start preparing for UDFA season. But
hey, how about this also? Don't pick on Chris Greer if they don't pick him. You know why? They have Matt Applebaum on the team, the man that coached the guy. So if they don't take him, he must have not fought for him.
It's that simple.
Dude, we're at the end of the draft.
It is that simple.
If you're not that valuable to be taken at the end of the draft and your coach didn't fight for you and they pass him up, that's all you need to know, dude. That's all. It's over. Because what are you passing him up for? A late 6th or a 7th rounders if they keep him?
I'm about to say these are low. I don't want to say valueless picks because 7th rounders have made impacts before. I mean, shoot, Myles Gaskin just spent the past 2 years as a team starting running back as a 7th round pick. You never know what you're going to get out of him. But it is a low value. It is a low value pick right now. They are low value.
Right now, Alex Lindstrom is hoping he doesn't get drafted.
We are flirting with that territory right now. Yeah, we're flirting with that territory where you'd almost rather be an undrafted free agent so that you get a little bit more money, you get to choose your spot, so on and so forth. It's kind of more of like do you just want to like see your name called on TV or not?
Yeah, you might get drafted to a place that has a center and you're stuck for 3-4 years sitting behind him. You never got to prove yourself and you never get that second contract, or you just got to take a whatever contract to move on. But the other way, if you're a street free agent, you can kind of maybe pick, okay, that situation's not so strong. Maybe I can go there and steal some playing time and maybe, that kind of stuff. So for me, Lindstrom should be getting to the point where I don't feel like getting drafted anymore at this point. I may end up in a bad situation that isn't going to help me out long term.
Exactly. He's going to get an opportunity somewhere. And then, I don't think teams are necessarily going to be so attached to a 6th round pick over a UDFA that, they're not going to let you earn your way in. What I will say, though, is that a team will, if it's close, if it's even, they'll probably give the nod to the guy that they spent a draft pick on. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But again, the freedom to pick your spot and the freedom to kind of choose your own adventure here in the NFL is pretty enticing. So yeah, we're at that point where a lot of guys would rather just kind of be in a UDFA at this point.
By the way, it sounds ridiculous, but when you only have a couple of picks, and we really won't know for a couple of years if it's successful or not. But I feel really good about this draft just because of the damn Georgia linebacker.
That's all. I mean, with 4 picks and only really one high value pick, that 3rd rounder, you're not in a position where you're about to fill a whole bunch of needs with 3rd and 4th round pick and 2 7s. So to get one impact player, I think it's cherry on top. And I love what Chris Greer has been saying about his 2023 picks. He said, you're not touching them. It's non-negotiable. We want to keep those. End of story. It's a non-starter. It is a non-starter. I'm telling you, man, because we've said it a bunch of times. I don't want to get too into Tua here because I want to be fair to him with the new regime and the new staff. But it's a good quarterback class next year, and all of a sudden you got 2 firsts, you got a second, you got thirds.
Don't start. There'll be no quarterbacks. All right, they're going to add those picks to a team that won 11 games.
Listen to this.
Over 4,000 yards.
You didn't let me finish. So if Tua is not good this year, you package and move up. If he is good, you got 5 premium picks to add to this team, to keep building to this team. That's 5 chances to get an impact player at a low market cost. So it's a win-win to hang on to those picks. They have no incentive, like trading up for Nakobe Dean. As I said last night, if you could have gotten him for maybe a third next year and your 4th this year, then okay, I would consider it. I'd consider it. But if you can hang on to all 5 of them, there's no incentive really to move up in this year's draft. Now the roster already pretty much set.
Yeah. No, there's none. And it's a failure if you have to use those picks to make up for the quarterback. So I expect Tua to have a hell of a year. I expect him to have a hell of a year. I expect him to be a top 10 quarterback, and I think he's going to improve a lot.
I'm not gonna put qualifiers on what I expect out of him. I'm on record saying I think this will work. I think it'll work. I think it'll be efficient. But I'm saying like it's a win-win. They see it as a win-win here. Either we have picks to add talent, or we have picks to move up and grab a CJ Stroud or a Bryce Young or a Tyler Van Dyke type player if need be. Or anybody, man. They have ammo to move up for any player that they want.
It's going to be 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, and what they'll do with those picks is maybe they'll get another lineman and they'll get maybe a stud running back and all that kind of stuff. They'll add more stuff to that team next year is what they're going to do with those picks. That's what.
It's very obviously like here we are. The 22 draft isn't over, and we're over here talking about the 23 draft. So obviously, moot point for at least another 7-8 months. But I like the fact that he is steadfast. I'm keeping these picks. It was a concerted effort not to get rid of those 2 first rounders next year in trading for Tyreek Hill. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was, it's not being talked about, or everybody got caught up in the number of picks that he used. But I was blown away, impressed with Chris's ability to get Tyreek Hill without getting rid of any first round picks next year. That was critical. Once I saw that was the case, I don't care what else he paid. First round, second round, 4th round, 5th, 6th, cares about any of those picks. You watch any of these on TV, who's been paying attention for the past hour and a half? Care about any of those guys over Tyreek Hill? No, you don't. You'd rather have Tyreek Hill. You'd rather have the superstar. It was an A+ trade for Miami now. Like I loved it. I love it. Like I said, I can't speak enough to how much I like the fact that he is gung-ho on keeping those premium picks. Those are high value. Those are premium. And to have that many that early, I mean, with the team that's going to have to start paying guys real soon, it's invaluable.
Yep, I'm with you there. By the way, there's still 2 centers, not only Alec Lindstrom from Boston College, but the Donovan West kid from Arizona. Aren't you an Arizona State guy?
No way.
So, I like that kid, West. That's another project that I like late in the draft. In fact, I'd rather have him over Lindstrom. Now, I don't know, again, what Applebaum is thinking, but there's actually 2 centers left.
Yeah, at this point, man,
still has a shot in that early 7th round pick. You might have a shot at one of these 2 guys because I'm looking at what's left, and I saw that West was still available, and I actually would like to take a chance on the West kid too.
Look, ESPN, we have West as our 3rd-ranked center in this class. We have him ranked well above Alec Lindstrom overall. West, number 121 overall prospect. We got Lindstrom at number 241. It'd be worth it. But like you said, it looks like they're going to have their pick right here. Obviously, I want to see a Sun Devil wherever and whenever we can. They've had, I think we've had 3-4 guys go.
By the way, you also could see an FIU player because my boy Devonta Price is still there, 6'1", 205, 210, baby. FIU running back. That also could be an option here coming up for the Dolphins. Those are 2 players that I actually like here right now in that spot. What do you think?
Yeah, we are getting to that point where you're scraping the barrel a little bit. Everybody's going to have some kind of flaw. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get a perfect prospect here. You're not getting so when we say, okay, Donovan West, maybe doesn't have the foot speed that you would like to see out of an interior offensive lineman, or Alec Lindstrom, not as athletic as you would like to see. Like, those things are going to happen. You're hoping for traits here and how often that they play to those traits. So I would love the Donovan West ad. I think that I've been saying it for a couple of weeks. I'm pretty sure. I think it's about as close to a lock as you can get that they're going to take an offensive lineman at some point. We heard Chris Greer, he specifically asked, what position group stands out to you this year? He said offensive lineman, maybe a little bit of edge rusher, but really that O-line group is deep. So I think that he had his eye on the 7th round for adding to the trenches.
There we go. Follow him on Twitter so you can get an edge on the Miami Dolphins. By the way, you can also order Edge Energy Drink, myedgedrink.com. Get 10% off. Use the code Big O so you can taste a energy drink that is delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Follow him on Twitter, Marcel_LJ. Marcel, I appreciate you, my man. We'll catch up next week.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, my brother. Be good.
Stay out of
Oh, yeah. We will definitely not be staying out of trouble. Be good. Later.
Later.
Marcel, Louis, Jacques, you now have the edge.